All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all are doing well and had a good trading day. If you did trade, or I hoped most of you relaxed because there wasn't a lot that went on. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened with Bitcoin, where it closed at, for the week as well, and see what we have to expect for tomorrow, possibly. So let's first take a look at our week. So our week closed, like I kind of said, indecision, bullish doji, right? You closed above our previous close, right? So it's bullish, or I should say, you close above the open. So definitely more of a bullish candle, but it's indecision. So here's the thing. I do want to see, price dump first, okay? Um, I know that we talked about, reaching 65, 66 at this point now, time wise, I really don't want to see that until we get into like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. I don't want to see that anywhere soon come Monday, or even tonight. I want to see that happen way later on. Okay, now, is there a possibility that that could happen tonight or tomorrow? Absolutely. But from a timing perspective, if this next week is going to be bullish and we're going to get those three white soldier, three green soldier candle reversal, whatever you want to call it, um, we have to see us dump first and make some sort of a wick down, okay? I really want this next week to close bullishly because that will be a sign of reversal. Because if not, then there's a chance that we're making a swing high and we're going to drop down lower, okay? Going into the daily, so weekly open is 63,752 it looks like. And then we'll measure out Monday midnight open in a few hours here. I'll have it marked out later here, but I'm going to remove this for now because that was previous Monday midnight open. Um, but so far we're getting the pump up. It's really early to tell right now. We're not seeing a lot of price action right now. We're not seeing a huge movement yet, so I'm not too scared yet. But like, look at this 12 hour. That's a beautiful bull flag right there. I just realized that. And it's again, guys, it all depends on, whether or not we're in a premium or discount of the range, right? So it does look like we're kind of in the middle of the range for right now. If I were to pull up, I haven't done this in a while here. Let me see. Let me pull up another. Actually, no, I'll just grab this one. And we'll go here. All right. So if we take a look at our daily and we take this range here, so I'll say from this bottom up to this high right here for right now. So yeah, I mean, we're still in the discount of this range, right? If we take it from the bottom to the top, I mean, you could say it's from here, so let's try it from here. So if we take it from here, though, we are in the premium of the range. So there's a possibility, guys, if this is our range, which we've stayed in there since looks like June, we've stayed in this, kind of this range period. There's a possibility that we are, in the high of the range. It's really going to depend on whether or not we can get back more into like this bigger range up here, because then this would be considered a discount. And I think we have to assume that, we're probably part of this bigger range up to this point. So I would say that honestly, from the smaller range we're in the premium, but the bigger range that we're in, the bigger profile that we're in the discount, okay? So that being said, that's a decent sign. That means that, if there's any bear flags or bear patterns that they should in theory break up as long as we're in the discount, okay? So I just wanted to kind of see and take a look at that before I went on here. But looking at the 8 hour, so we're finding a lot of support and resistance against the 63,940. This is like an extremely important area for us to get above. Okay, so as of right now, we're treating it as resistance. We're not able to get back above it. That is to be expected for the beginning of the week, as long as we're going to be bullish, right? So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not we can, see some price action slowly move above it once we make our tail for the week. Um, and once again, guys, I mean, honestly, your 4 hour is going to be your guide for right now, especially with all of this low volume and this choppiness. As long as you stay above the 200 MA, you got to assume that the trend will keep going up. As soon as you lose this 200 MA right here on the 4 hour, then you can assume that we could possibly take out this double bottom right here or even further, down to 61 or 60,000, right? So until that happens, so I gotta say that, this is going to control your micro time frames, right? So I gotta say that we're going to be saying somewhat, bullish for now, at least. Now, the micro time frames might be different because, like you see here, this basically is below the 200. We're starting to get some tighter moving averages. Um, but you can see how, like, this kind of tells me we're in a discount because look at this. This is like a descending triangle that broke up violently, right? So it's a good sign for the bulls because this does mean that we are technically in a discount for right now. Um, let's see. 10 minute. Yeah, I don't like this pattern a lot. It looks very Bart Simpson-esque to me. Just kind of this chop, 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 and it's making that Bart Simpson type pattern. Kind of a complex like head and shoulder type of thing. I don't even know how to draw that out, but yeah, that's very Bart Simpson-esque for right now. So, to be bullish for tonight, what you're looking for is you want to see the, price getting above the 5 minute 200 MA, closing that with the golden cross. Then you can move to the 10 minute, then you can move to the 15. This right here could just be a draw on liquidity for right now, but it's really going to depend on whether or not price can consolidate here. All right. So with that being said, this is a Sammy special, by the way, on the 1 minute for right now. Not that I don't know if it's going to play out, but you're starting to get these moving averages about to cross. But anyways, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at liquidity. For right now, as far as levels go, I really want to see where we are in regards to the 65,000, 66,000 area, as well as that 63.3 that I've been targeting, which is the bounce off of the 1 hour 200 MA. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick here. Let me bring these up here. All right. So taking a look at price here, go to the 4 hour. All right. So the 4 hour is still showing, not too much different. We still have some down to 60,000-ish area. We have the bulk of our liquidity at 65, 66 area, ending about 66,530. So that looks good to me. Going into the 1 hour. So the 1 hour definitely, man, it's not a great sign. Jeez. So 100x, we could be taking this out. We already kind of bounced off of it. 50x shows that we got to come all the way down to 61K, which is crazy. Honestly, guys, there is a chance. God, hate to say it, there's a chance that we take this 65K out and then we just drop down. I think I said this earlier, but maybe we take out this double top right here. Wick up to here, take out the double top, and then we just plow down. I may even honestly put. It's really going to depend on what price action does. It's very risky to short this, but you could potentially, not financial advice, short when you get up here. But like I said, it's really going to depend on what price action does once you get up into this area. If it shows strength, and it doesn't start retracing immediately, then you got to be careful because then you could start taking out some of this up here, right? But yeah, I really don't like shorting above the 4 hour 200 MA. That really freaks me out. So I think the best thing, honestly, for right now, because shorts are going to be very, very risky, honestly, until we lose that 4 hour 200. The best thing would be to wait for retracements for long setups, and that's what I've been kind of doing. That's why I'm waiting for like, on the 15 minute, I'm waiting for 63.3 because I know that that was an area where we could potentially bounce from, like right here. So yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, it's really gonna and see, look, we're getting that follow through right now. I mean, it's a mess. So, that being said, we could, looking at our order book, we could reach up here to 65,000 and then drop down. I do see us, wanting to get into here if possible, but I don't know when it's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, 63.3 as an order is gonna be risky because we could just plow right through there. It's really going to depend on if it wants to use that as a 786 or if it wants to get a deeper one down into here somewhere. We could even bounce off of the 4 hour 200 MA, which would be down in like the 62.6 area, I believe it was. So definitely very wary right now. I'm even thinking about pulling my limit order that I had set because of we literally bounced right in front of it. Um, Gosh, that's hard. Yeah, it does look like we could get a blow off top here right now. I don't like that. Okay, let's go into the 5 minute finally and just take a look and see what we're seeing here. Now, with trend diff, your daily is out of one, so it's slightly bullish, but I'm just not, I really don't like this right now. Yeah, the play could be a short, but it's gonna be risky, guys. Like, just if you do short this when it gets into 65K, you have to be okay with it being like, I could easily lose this trade type of thing. I would not have my stop loss too far from it because you could literally just rip on up if it wanted to. But on the same token, you're getting a pump on a Sunday, right? And usually we want to see it dumping on Sunday. So I just, huh. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say that maybe we pump, we take this out, and then we dump until like Tuesday, Wednesday. That would give us our bottom for the week, and then we can do some recovery come Thursday, Friday. That's kind of my guess, from a timeline perspective from what I've seen. But yeah, definitely I would watch this area to see if maybe there's a short potential there, and again, it's a very, very high risk. Take that with a grain of salt. But it could prove to be very um, beneficial for you because you could get down into the 61K area if you're able to catch it, if it's meant to do that. But that's going to be very, very interesting, especially because we have all these orders down here. So, all right. Finally, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the simple map, see what's going on there. So in regards to the simple map, your 5, your 15, your 1 hour, you do show that there's liquidity to the upside that could lead us up to that 65 area, 64.6 area. And then you also have all of these peaks forming to the downside of the 100x, the 50x, and the 25x. So I definitely think that we could possibly get a move to the upside, especially how strong this candle is right here. But just be very cautious if you are longing because it could be very much so just a draw on liquidity, taking out these double tops here, and then we could easily fall. So, um, yeah, this is interesting, guys. Taking a look at the swing time frame, the 4 hour and the daily, kind of showing the same thing. There's a possibility to take out this 25x and this 10x, getting up to 64.7. It looks like possibly 64.6, 64.7 before you might have to retrace back down. Because this is a pretty big peak right here. So it's going to be interesting to see how price reacts up here. But yeah, this looks a lot like a draw on liquidity to me, especially just starting out a weekly candle. It's not what you really want to see. So be careful, guys. I think I'm going to cancel my limit long. I might be looking more to potentially short, but more than likely for me, I will probably put another limit in further down and just wait for it to start eating up a lot of this liquidity. It's one of those things about this market, especially with Bitcoin, is you have to be extremely patient these days. It's not giving you a lot of movement and it's not really showing its hand until last minute. So it's better for you to just be patient. And, I'm talking about this for myself as well because it is hard for me sometimes, but it's better to be patient and just wait for that draw on liquidity and then to reverse on it, right? So a lot of people right now are going to be chasing long, right? Because this is, it's pumping. Um, but it's better to just wait and reverse on it, honestly, and assume that it's a draw on liquidity. You have a few orders up here at 65,000, but then after that, there's like smaller orders, right, coming up here. I mean, there are orders, but they're smaller. And then you have all these thick orders down to 63,000, down even to 62,875. So you have to assume that after you take this up to the top, that you're going to reverse, right? Now, whether or not we lose that 4 hour 200 MA or we bounce off of it, that's going to be the question. If we take out this bottom order, we could literally just be bouncing off the 4 hour 200 MA. So I would look for that. I'm going to say that there's a pump, but it's going to be a draw on liquidity, and then we're going to reverse. That's kind of my narrative for tonight. Not that that's going to happen, but that's what I'm just seeing for right now. That's what it looks like is going to happen. So, anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you all in the morning. Take care.